You know what's truly dangerous? Someone who can look you in the eye and lie effortlessly, without a moment of hesitation. These individuals don't just twist the truth now and then, they live in deception. It's not an occasional slip. It's a consistent pattern, a way of life. If you're not vigilant, their lies will slowly seep into your reality, eroding your relationships, self-confidence, and even your ability to distinguish truth from illusion. A chronic liar distorts reality so frequently that even they start believing their own fabrications. The worst part? They're indifferent to the harm they cause. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear, manipulate your emotions, and make you doubt your own perceptions, all while maintaining a perfectly composed demeanor. With people like this, nothing real can be built. Not a friendship, not a business, not even a casual conversation, without constantly questioning whether you're hearing the truth or just another carefully crafted illusion. The tricky thing is, liars don't always come with obvious warning signs. Sometimes, they're the most charming, the most persuasive. They understand exactly how to shape their words, how to make you feel at ease, how to earn your trust, and that's what makes them so dangerous. They don't lie out of necessity. They lie because it serves their interests, gives them control, and keeps them a step ahead, while leaving you completely in the dark. Ever found yourself in a situation where something felt off, but you couldn't quite pinpoint why? That's the work of a skilled deceiver. They create just enough uncertainty to make you doubt yourself. Maybe they tweak details ever so slightly, shift blame onto someone else, or conveniently forget critical facts. Before you know it, you're second-guessing your own instincts. This is how they operate. They thrive in the blurred lines between truth and fiction. If you allow them into your world, they will reshape your perception of reality. But here's the good news. You don't need to be a detective to spot a chronic liar. You just need to observe. Focus on their patterns, not just their words. Do their stories keep changing? Do they say one thing today and something entirely different tomorrow? Do they become defensive when questioned or try to gaslight you into thinking you misunderstood? These are clear red flags. Ignoring them is an open invitation to chaos. Now let's be honest. What's the real cost of trusting a liar? It's more than just being misled. It's wasted time, lost opportunities, and emotional exhaustion. Maybe you invest in a business venture based on their false promises only to watch it crumble. Maybe you pour your heart into a relationship built on deception only to realize it was never real in the first place. Maybe you confide in them, share your dreams, fears, and secrets, only to have them twist your words against you when it suits them. So what's the solution? Set a standard. Stop giving endless chances to those who repeatedly prove they can't be trusted. Stop making excuses for them. Oh, they didn't mean it. They were just stressed. Maybe I misunderstood. The truth is, if someone consistently shows you who they are, believe them. You stop rationalizing their behavior. The moment someone repeatedly betrays your trust, that's all the evidence you need. People who lie as a habit aren't simply making mistakes, they're making choices. And every time you excuse those choices, you give them permission to keep doing it. Instead, you establish boundaries. You decide that honesty is non-negotiable. You refuse to engage with those who manipulate the truth for their own benefit. It's not about being harsh, it's about protecting your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. Because here's the reality. Liars thrive where they are tolerated. The more room they have to operate, the more damage they'll cause. And if you allow them to stay in your life, you're not just dealing with dishonesty, you're inviting instability, confusion, and constant doubt. So, you make a choice. A choice to step away from deception. A choice to surround yourself with people whose words align with their actions. A choice to value truth over convenience. Because once you stop entertaining lies, you'll start seeing reality for what it is, not for how someone else wants you to believe it. You understood it perfectly, you noticed the signs, felt the unease. Trust that instinct. Every time you disregard it, you give them permission to keep deceiving, manipulating, and exploiting your kindness. Cut ties, walk away, and if needed, call them out. But don't waste another moment trying to fix someone who thrives on dishonesty. Your energy is valuable. Your future is too important. You cannot afford to surround yourself with people who twist reality to serve their own agenda. Every second spent with a liar is a second stolen from the life you deserve. Some people don't just lie, they shape reality to suit their needs. They don't merely deceive, they control. The worst part? You often don't recognize it until you're deeply entangled in their web. These are the master manipulators, the ones who distort your emotions, twist the truth, and make you act in ways that benefit them, all while making you believe it was your decision. Manipulators aren't always obvious. They don't come with warning labels or signs that say, "I'm here to control you." They're smarter than that. They create an illusion of trust, making you feel safe, as if they have your best interests at heart. That's what makes them dangerous. Because the moment you lower your guard, they start pulling the strings. Have you ever felt guilty for something you didn't even do? Apologized when you knew you were right? Changed your plans, decisions, or even your dreams because someone made you feel like you had to? That's manipulation at work. These individuals have mastered the art of making you doubt yourself. They use guilt, obligation, and even love as weapons. Before you realize it, you're making choices that don't align with your goals, happiness, or truth. They'll tell you it's for your own good. I just want what's best for you. I'm saying this because I care. But in reality, it's never about you. It's about control, keeping you uncertain enough that you continue seeking their approval. Because the moment you think for yourself, the moment you stand firm in your own decisions, their hold over you weakens, and they can't allow that to happen. This plays out in toxic relationships, failed business partnerships, and one-sided friendships. Manipulators are everywhere, and they play the long game. Their tactics are subtle. They don't just go for big, obvious moves. They wear you down over time. They make you question your instincts, turn small favors into lifelong obligations, and gradually pile on expectations until you're carrying a burden you were never meant to bear. You sacrifice your needs to keep them satisfied, but here's the truth. They will never be satisfied. No matter how much you give or how much you bend, it will never be enough. Because manipulation isn't about reaching a goal. It's about control for control's sake. It's about keeping you dependent. The more you comply, the tighter their grip becomes. They thrive on your hesitation, feeding off your self-doubt. The moment you start questioning their motives, they shift the narrative, making you feel like you're the problem. They rewrite history, twist your words, and convince you that your instincts can't be trusted. This cycle isn't accidental. It's designed to keep you off balance. Manipulators excel at blurring the lines between concern and control, between advice and coercion. They disguise their influence as care, ensuring you remain entangled in their web. But here's what they fear most: clarity. The instant you recognize the pattern, their power weakens. When you stop second-guessing yourself and start trusting your intuition, their ability to control you diminishes. They rely on confusion, so the greatest threat to them is your awareness. Detaching from these people isn't always easy. They will resist, guilt trip, or even lash out. They'll try to convince you that you're abandoning them, that you're being unreasonable. But none of that is true. Walking away isn't cruelty, it's survival. You owe it to yourself to protect your peace. Surround yourself with those who respect your choices, not those who manipulate them. The life you deserve isn't built on deception, doubt, or control. It's built on freedom, truth, and self-respect. And that starts the moment you decide to break free. If you're always seeking their approval, never truly secure in yourself, you may find yourself living according to someone else's expectations rather than your own. So how do you recognize these people? Pay attention to their reaction when you say no. A healthy individual respects boundaries, but a manipulator sees them as a challenge. They push, guilt trip, and twist your words to make you feel like the villain for prioritizing yourself. They bring up the past, play the victim, and make you question your own decisions. Every interaction leaves you feeling exhausted, guilty, or uncertain. You're not dealing with a true friend. You're facing a master manipulator. The hardest part? Letting go. Manipulators don't just control your actions, they manipulate your emotions. They convince you that cutting them off makes you the bad person, that standing up for yourself is selfish, that choosing your happiness is a betrayal. But listen closely, walking away from manipulation isn't selfish, it's survival. It's reclaiming your power, your voice, your life. The sooner you do it, the sooner you start living on your own terms. You don't owe anyone your peace of mind. You don't owe them your time, energy, or dreams. Those who genuinely care about you will support you without conditions. They won't twist your emotions to control you or guilt trip you into compliance. And if someone in your life is doing that, it's time to cut the strings, because the only person who should be in control of your life is you. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and instantly change the energy? Not because they inspire or uplift, but because they drain the very life out of the space. These individuals don't take your money or possessions, but they steal something even more valuable: your energy, motivation, and drive. They are emotional leeches, and if you allow them to, they will drain you completely. Then there's another type of toxic presence, the ones who constantly complain, who dwell in negativity, making every problem seem insurmountable. No matter what solutions you offer, they always have a reason why nothing will work. It's not just their words, it's their presence, their attitude, the way they leave you feeling mentally and emotionally exhausted. They may not be loud or confrontational. Sometimes they take the form of perpetual victims. To them, life is unfair, the system is rigged, and other people always seem to have better luck. Instead of seeking solutions or taking action, they just want someone to listen, to sympathize, to validate their mindset. And the more time you spend around them, the more their energy starts to affect you. Think about it. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained, like your motivation and focus have been sucked right out of you? That's not a coincidence. It's a warning sign. Energy is contagious. When you surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and seek solutions, you feel it. You thrive. When you surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and seek solutions, you feel it. You thrive. And the opposite is just as true. When you're constantly around negativity, it seeps into your mindset. The second type of person who holds you back is the one who refuses to see possibilities. They approach every challenge with doubt, every opportunity with skepticism. No matter how much encouragement you give, they find a way to dismiss it. Their negativity isn't just in their words, it's in their presence, their outlook, the way they drain the enthusiasm from every conversation. They carry a weight that slowly transfers to those around them. You offer advice, they reject it. You suggest change, they resist. And the more time you spend in their orbit, the more you begin to question your own optimism, your own drive. But here's what you need to understand. Not everyone is willing to grow, and it's not your job to carry those who refuse to move forward. You can support, you can guide, but you cannot force someone to change. And if their mindset is pulling you down, it may be time to step back. Because at the end of the day, your energy is one of your greatest assets. Who you give it to shapes your perspective, your ambitions, your future. Protect it. Be intentional about the company you keep. Seek out those who inspire action, who challenge you to be better, who bring solutions instead of excuses. And when you do, you'll feel the difference, not just in your mindset, but in your life. Surrounding yourself with the right people has a powerful impact on your mindset. When you're around those who uplift and inspire you, you feel stronger, more capable, and more alive. But when you spend time with individuals who constantly complain, focus on the negative, and drain your enthusiasm, that energy affects you too. The most concerning part? They often don't even realize they're doing it. They don't wake up thinking, how can I drain the energy of everyone I meet today? No, they're simply trapped in a cycle of negativity. And if you're not careful, they'll pull you into it as well. Over time, you begin adopting their habits, their mindset, and even their excuses. You may start second-guessing your own dreams and goals, weighed down by their energy, which makes everything seem impossible. But understand this. This isn't about abandoning people who are going through tough times. We all experience struggles and need support. That's different. This is about those who make negativity their identity. People who refuse to see solutions, resist growth, and instead seek company in their misery. These are the ones you need to be cautious of, because no matter how much help or advice you offer, they aren't looking to change. They're looking for validation, for someone to indulge their excuses and carry their burdens for them. But the truth is, you cannot afford to take on someone else's negativity. You cannot allow their energy to become yours. The moment you do, you start moving slower, hesitating and doubting yourself, and that's exactly how dreams fade. Not through a dramatic failure, but through small, daily leaks of energy that leave you too drained to fight for what you want. So what's the solution? You must protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Set boundaries. Stop engaging in conversations that deplete you. Recognize when someone is pulling you into their negativity and step back. If that means limiting your time with certain people or even walking away altogether, then so be it. The cost of keeping them around is simply too high. You deserve to be surrounded by individuals who challenge and inspire you, who push you forward rather than hold you back, who bring solutions rather than just problems. When you make this shift, when you choose to be around energy givers instead of energy drainers, you will feel the difference immediately. You'll feel lighter, clearer, and more empowered, because the right people fuel your fire, not extinguish it. Adversity reveals a person's true character. When everything is going well, when there's success, laughter, and abundance, it's easy to believe people are loyal and genuinely care. But the moment you hit a setback, when life tests you, that's when you see who is truly by your side. Some people are only present when it benefits them. The fair weather friends. If you rely on them, trust them, and build your world around them, you may find yourself left behind when you need them most. They disappear when challenges arise, when success isn't guaranteed, or when standing by your side no longer serves their interests. And if you're not careful, you'll invest in people who were never truly invested in you. This is why paying attention to patterns is crucial. The way someone supports you in difficult times speaks louder than their words in easy moments. When setbacks happen, some will distance themselves, while others will stand firm, offering encouragement and strength. Those are the people who matter. Those are the relationships worth keeping. Because in the end, real connections aren't built on convenience. They're tested in hardship. They don't waver when circumstances change. They remain steady, proving their loyalty through action, not just words. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who push you to be better, who stand beside you not just in moments of celebration, but in times of struggle, because the people in your life will either fuel your growth or drain it. And that choice, it's entirely yours. Recognizing true loyalty. Who's really in your corner? Ever felt drained, disappointed, and alone when you needed people the most? Some individuals only show up when there's something in it for them. Whether it's the good times, opportunities, or access to your energy, resources, and connections. When life is smooth, they appear supportive, hyping you up, celebrating your wins, and acting as if they are an essential part of your journey. But the moment you face challenges, the moment you genuinely need support, they disappear. Excuses pile up, they become too busy, and your calls go unanswered. Suddenly, they're nowhere to be found. Have you noticed how some people are always available when it's convenient for them? They enjoy the spotlight, but vanish when adversity strikes. They'll be there for the celebrations, the victories, and the excitement, but when you're grinding, doubting yourself, or struggling to get back on your feet, they're missing. Here's what you need to understand. True friendship and real loyalty aren't defined by who stands beside you at the top. It's about who remains by your side when you're at your lowest, who supports you when there's nothing in it for them. And this isn't just about friendships. It applies to business partners, colleagues, and even family members. Some people align with you as long as you're offering them something, making life easier for them. But the moment you stop serving their interests or need something in return, their true nature is revealed. They were never truly in it for you, only for what they could gain. Once you stop giving, they stop showing up. This is why trust cannot be built on words alone. People will say they have your back, claim they care, but the truth is always in their actions. Who answers your call when you need them? Who checks in when things are uncertain? not just when life is exciting? Who stands beside you when there's no spotlight, no rewards, no audience? Those people, your real circle, your true team, are the ones who matter. And let's be clear, you don't need an army of friends. It's not about having a huge network. It's about having the right people, the ones who show up when it counts, who don't just enjoy the successes, but are willing to stand beside you through the struggles. Because life is unpredictable, business is unpredictable, success is never a straight line, and if you're surrounded by people who only stay when the sun is shining, you're in trouble the moment the storm arrives. So how do you recognize them? Pay attention to how they react when things get tough. Do they distance themselves? Do they suddenly have countless excuses for why they can't be there? Do they avoid uncomfortable situations? That's your sign. That's when you truly see their character. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you can stop wasting energy on the wrong people. Because here's the truth, when you stop chasing fair weather friends, you make space for the real ones. The ones who don't care whether you're winning or losing, celebrated or forgotten. The ones who believe in you, not because of what you can offer, but because of who you are. These are the people who will challenge you, support you, and stand by you through every high and low. These are the people who matter, and they are the only ones you should ever trust. Success has a way of exposing the truth. Success has an interesting way of revealing people's true intent. When everything is going well, it's easy for others to align themselves with you. They'll praise your achievements, stay close, and make it seem like they've been there all along. But success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about who remains when things become uncertain. Not everyone around you is there because they genuinely support you. Some are drawn to the benefits, the access, or the status that comes with being associated with you. They enjoy the ride when it's smooth, but quickly detach when obstacles appear. And it's in those difficult moments that you truly see the difference between those who are with you for the journey and those who are just along for the perks. This reality might be tough to accept, but it's necessary. Recognizing who is genuinely in your corner will protect your energy and focus. It allows you to invest in relationships that are built on mutual respect, not convenience. And while it might mean letting go of certain connections, it also creates space for people who truly value and appreciate you for who you are, not just what you can offer. So pay attention. Watch how people act when the excitement fades. Observe who remains when the rewards are gone. Because in the end, real loyalty isn't proven in moments of celebration. It's revealed in times of adversity. And those who stay, they're the ones who truly matter. The moment you start growing, the moment you begin winning, stepping into your power, watch what happens. Not everyone will celebrate you. Not everyone will cheer you on. In fact, some of the very people you thought were in your corner will start to pull away. There's a specific type of person who sabotages success. They downplay your achievements, act indifferent, and throw in little comments disguised as jokes. They don't say it outright, but you'll feel it. That's envy. And if you're not careful, these envious underminers will do everything they can to keep you from going any further. You've seen it before. The friend who grows distant when you get a promotion. The family member who makes passive-aggressive remarks when you step into something bigger. The colleague who subtly discredits your ideas in meetings, always finding ways to poke holes in your plans. They don't openly attack you because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy. Instead, they operate in the shadows, planting doubt, making you question yourself, slowly chipping away at your confidence. It's not that they hate you. In fact, part of them might even admire your success. But their issue isn't with you, it's with what your success reflects back at them. When you rise, when you take action, when you prove that change is possible, it forces them to confront their own stagnation, the excuses they've made, the potential they haven't pursued. And instead of using that as motivation, they resent you for it. Ever share good news with someone and immediately sense a shift in their energy? Maybe they force a smile, change the subject, or throw in a dismissive comment like, must be nice, or some of us don't have that kind of luck. That's not support, that's envy speaking. And if you don't recognize it for what it is, if you keep these people too close, they'll find ways to pull you back down to their level. Here's where it gets tricky. Sometimes these people have been in your life for years. Maybe they were supportive when you were struggling, when you weren't a threat to their own insecurities. But the moment you outgrow the version of yourself they were comfortable with, the moment you start achieving things they haven't, something shifts. They can't celebrate you because deep down your success reminds them of everything they haven't done. But you cannot shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You cannot slow down just to keep someone else from feeling insecure. If your success threatens them, if your growth makes them uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. The right people will be inspired by your progress. They'll see your wins as proof that more is possible. They'll push themselves harder because you've shown them what can be done. Those are the people you want in your circle. So what do you do with the envious underminers? You distance yourself. Stop seeking validation from those who secretly want to see you fail. Stop explaining, justifying, or downplaying your ambition to make them feel better. Keep moving forward whether they're with you or not, because here's the truth. Someone else's insecurity should never become your limitation. You worked for this, you earned it, and no amount of envy should hold you back. The reality is, not everyone is meant to go where you're headed. Some people will try to guilt you into staying the same, making you feel as if your growth is a betrayal. But staying small to accommodate others isn't loyalty, it's self-sabotage. When you start setting boundaries, prioritizing your goals, and refusing to shrink, you'll notice who respects your evolution and who resents it. The ones who truly support you will adapt, cheering you on as you reach new heights. The others, they'll fall away, revealing that their presence was never about mutual success. It was about comfort, about control, about keeping you at a level they could accept. That's why you must be intentional about the people in your circle. Surround yourself with those who uplift, those who challenge you to be better, those who see your success as a sign that they too can achieve more. Because real friends don't compete, they grow together. And here's what's important to remember. You owe no one an apology for evolving. You're not responsible for managing someone else's discomfort with your progress. The only obligation you have is to your own potential, to the version of yourself that refuses to settle. So keep pushing forward, keep striving, keep breaking barriers, because the ones who belong in your life will rise with you, and the ones who don't will fade away. Let them. Your path isn't meant to be limited by someone else's fears. Walk it boldly, own your journey, and never let anyone convince you that you should be anything less than the best version of yourself. The right people will lift you up, while the wrong ones will try to hold you back. So choose carefully. Trust isn't built on words, promises, or good intentions. It's built on one thing: follow through. It means showing up when you say you will, keeping your commitments, and being the person you claim to be. Yet there are those who say all the right things, make promises, and give you their word only to disappear when it's time to act. They always have an excuse, something always comes up, and they repeat this cycle, leaving you disappointed, frustrated, and burdened by their broken commitments. These are the commitment breakers. If you trust them, rely on them, or build anything with them, you will eventually pay the price. You know exactly who they are. The friend who always cancels last minute, the business partner who talks big but never delivers, the coworker who agrees to handle something but leaves you scrambling to fix their mess. They may not do it intentionally, and they may not even realize the damage they cause, but the result is the same. You're left to deal with the consequences. At first you may make excuses for them. Maybe they're just busy, maybe they meant well, maybe next time will be different. But over and over they show you exactly who they are, unreliable. And the more you tolerate it, the more they take advantage of it. Here's the truth, people will treat you the way you allow them to. If you keep accepting empty promises, if you continue trusting those who repeatedly let you down, they will keep disappointing you, not because they're bad people, but because they don't value commitment the way you do. That's the real problem. Commitment breakers don't respect time, not yours, not theirs, not anyone's. They don't see how their unreliability affects others. They fail to recognize that when they don't show up, someone else has to step in. Their lack of accountability drains energy, wastes opportunities, and erodes trust. Over time, this doesn't just frustrate you, it exhausts you. It makes you question whether you can rely on anyone at all. To be clear, this isn't about expecting perfection. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone falls short at times. But this is about patterns. It's about people who repeatedly fail to show up, who make commitments they never intend to keep, who make you feel like you have to chase them just to get them to do what they already promised. That's not a mistake, it's a habit. And if you keep these people in your life, their lack of commitment will eventually impact your own progress. So what's the solution? Hold people accountable. Stop giving your trust so easily. Pay attention to actions rather than words. Understand that if someone can't keep their word in small matters, they won't in bigger ones either. Most importantly, make a choice. Refuse to waste your time, energy, or future on those who don't follow through. Because in the end, success isn't built on empty words. It's built on action. It's built on those who honor their commitments, take responsibility instead of making excuses, and show up no matter what. Surround yourself with people like that and you'll go further than you ever imagined. Trust the wrong ones and you'll spend your life cleaning up after their failures. Choose wisely. Choosing the right people isn't just about trust. It's about building a foundation for success. When you surround yourself with those who follow through, you create an environment where progress thrives. These are the individuals who honor their word, take initiative, and refuse to leave others picking up their slack. On the other hand, when you invest in those who lack commitment, you don't just risk setbacks, you invite them. Every missed deadline, every excuse, every broken promise slows you down, drains your energy, and keeps you from reaching your full potential. But recognizing this pattern is only the first step. The real challenge is acting on it. It means setting boundaries, knowing when to walk away, and refusing to tolerate behaviors that hold you back. It's not about cutting people off without reason. It's about protecting your time, your goals, and your future from those who don't respect them. Commitment isn't a rare quality, but it is a choice. Some choose to show up, to do the work, to be reliable. Others choose convenience over responsibility, leaving others to deal with the consequences. So ask yourself, who do you want in your corner? The ones who build alongside you, or the ones who leave you to fix what they won't? Your success isn't just about your own effort. It's about the people you allow into your life. Because no matter how driven you are, if you're constantly cleaning up after someone else's failures, you'll never move forward the way you should. Make the decision. Surround yourself with those who match your level of commitment. The ones who take action, not just talk. The ones who stand by their word, not just say what sounds good. Because in the end, consistency beats empty promises. And the people who truly matter, they won't just say they're there for you, they'll prove it.